I was listening to a video the other day by Eric Edmeades on YouTube on how to become a better public speaker. And he brought up a really interesting concept that I have just been mulling over since I heard it. And he was discussing the fact that when we're in higher stress situations, we have more cortisol or more stress hormones released in our body. Generally speaking, it's causing us to look at things a little bit more from a pessimistic lens because we're in survival mode. And it goes back to basic wiring and survival instinct in that you wouldn't want to confuse a lion for a rock and not see a true danger. And so you're constantly scouring and looking for dangers everywhere because, again, you want to make it through to the end of the day. And I think back to when I was really sick, how this would be something relevant to know about because so many times I was stuck in that space of pessimism. And gosh, with Lyme and tick-borne illness, that completely changed my emotional spectrum and made me a lot more compulsive, distrustful, pessimistic. I cried a lot more, angry. It really did a number on the negative emotional spectrum. But then I think about being under stress and just the entire situation of being sick, what led me to getting there, and just how much stress my actual body was under, and how much more that would make it difficult to look at the world through a healing lens and more easy to look at it through that fear lens. I hope you're getting what I'm getting at here, but it's just really important to do our best, obviously, no matter what, whether you're sick or not, to keep stress in check. But I keep thinking about this again for people who are unwell and just how much that would impact things. And another thing that ties into this for me is the idea that in our body, a lot of times I think people have heard of leaky gut, but something that my nutritionist friend taught me was that when you have leaky gut, basically those pathways that are open that aren't supposed to be there are great pathways for things like anxiety to run through the body on. And I wish I could explain that a little bit more from a medical approach, but she did a fantastic job in convincing me that that's how it actually works. And I just think when we have poor gut health, how much more prone to anxiety and, again, these negative spectrum emotions or stress hormones, stressful situations, how much more they impact our body when we're sick. And so we just have to, again, do our best to mitigate that. But I wanted to just share that with you to make that something that you're aware of when you're on your healing journey, to realize and recognize, if you're able to, partition yourself from self and sickness, and know that sickness is feeding that pessimism or that negative outlook. Again, if you're having a hard time seeing things through more of a optimistic or healing lens and getting yourself well, just keep telling yourself, that's not really me, that's the sickness. And hopefully that will help you. And stress, again, is its own dis-ease in and of itself. So even if you're just under a stressful situation, you could apply those same metrics and just say, that's not me, that's the stress, and give yourself some space. And generally when we have that space there, it allows enough room for healing to transpire. So again, if you're interested to check that guy out, Eric Edmeades, I really enjoyed his talk. He did a great 2-part series. It was about probably 3 hours total, but he has a much shorter one if you're interested in listening to that. But that was one of the main concepts that really stuck with me that he presented. So I hope this is useful to you as well. Take care.